Listen, I love competing, but that shit is not for the faint of heart. I've been competing professionally in Jiu Jitsu for the last 4 years. And so today's video is about the things that I've learned from that experience. If you're a Jiu Jitsu athlete, then some of these lessons will resonate with you. If you haven't competed yet, or you're just thinking about it, if you've just been training, then you'll definitely want to listen to some of these stories and take something from these lessons. If you just so happen to stumble on my corner of the internet and you don't do Jiu Jitsu at all, you could also learn something from these lessons. This is not just Jiu Jitsu specific. These are things that I've learned about life by way of Jiu Jitsu. If you are new here, I'm Kaya J, a Jiu Jitsu athlete, content creator, and lover of these things. This channel is more or less my diary to share my love of these things with you through different type of videos. So if you're interested, stick around. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay in my little corner of the internet where the pros go.
Now back to the album.
Number one, it's okay to be nervous or anxious. Your body is just preparing you for a unique demand. So a few years ago, if you would have told me that I would be on a stage doing anything, talking, writing, walking, riding a bike, whatever, let alone fighting another human or grappling another human or talking to a person with a camera in my face, I literally would have died just thinking about it. If you know me for real, you know that I've always been kind of reserved and kind of shy, not that much of a people person. Like I have my friends, I have my people that I love to be around, but for the most part, I'm a homebody, and I, for a long time, didn't enjoy being out or being in front of a camera or even just talking to people. They made me nervous. In fact, my very first time having a panic attack in my adult life, I was presenting in a boardroom to maybe like 4 or 5 people for an internship. So presenting to some higher ups for an internship, and I had a full-blown panic attack. So the thought of getting out on some mats in front of a bunch of people to grapple or talk or anything like that really just didn't cross my mind until a little bit later on in my life when I jumped into my first competition. I've explained the story a bunch of times. Long story short, I was pretty much peer pressured into competing my first time, and I was a mess. I was so nervous. I remember shaking my arms out trying to get the blood flow to come back, to get my brain to work, to stop the adrenaline I was feeling. I didn't know how to deal with that feeling, and I wanted it to be over. And so the competition didn't go terribly. I didn't win all of my matches. I think I won one, lost one, whatever. But that feeling I'll never forget. My initial logic was like, all right, let's avoid that feeling at all costs. Let's avoid, it felt pretty similar to me being in that conference room and having a panic attack. So let's just avoid that feeling at all costs. But, I went home, I thought about it, I kind of wrote on it a little bit, and I decided to get back out there again. And that was the best decision I could have made. What happened is when I exposed myself to that type of stimulus, that type of stress again, I realized that 1, it doesn't go away. And 2, it's just not a bad thing. Nothing bad came from me getting out there a second, third time. In fact, I won all of the competitions at white and blue belt. I won all of my competitions at white and blue belt. Regardless of feeling what I felt, I still was able to get out there and perform. So I decided to make friends with it. I realized that, all right, maybe this isn't a bad thing. Maybe the feeling that I'm feeling isn't bad. It's helping me be more aware. It's helping me really zone in and focus. So how about we just reframe the way we think about our nerves and our feelings, that excitement that we get right before we go and do a big thing. So instead of avoiding the feeling of nervousness or anxiousness, lean into it a little bit and see what comes out of it. That's what I got from just really exposing myself to that stress over and over and over again. It never goes away. Every time I agree to do something, I feel nervous, I feel anxious, but I've learned to just lean into it and reframe it as I'm excited. Which brings me to lesson number 2. You can't control results, but you can improve the process. These lessons are not just specific to Jiu Jitsu. Jiu Jitsu has pretty much been the medium for me learning about not just myself, but also the process of self-improvement. Especially true when it comes to competing. In life or in Jiu Jitsu, when you're just in the gym, it's super easy to just avoid challenges and get super comfortable with your training partners or with the job that you have or with your spouse or whatever your situation is in life. Like, that directly relates to a person in the gym that gets comfortable and kind of fools themselves into avoiding challenges. When you get out and compete, it's always a challenge, and holes are always exposed. Even when you win, there's a hole exposed somewhere, unless it's a flawless performance, but most times things are exposed. And it's up to you to look at those things and realize that there's some improvements that need to be made. And that really takes a level of self-awareness and a level of honesty that, you absolutely have to have in order to keep growing and to keep improving. And although I learned this from Jiu Jitsu, this bleeds over into my daily life. I'm always looking for ways to improve any process that I do. Whether it's me launching a new line for SoPro, or me trying to figure out how to be more efficient in my daily routine, or me trying to figure out how I can organize my routine so that I can spend more time with my spouse or spend more time with my family. It's just something that's bled over into all aspects of my life. That this just learning how to continue to experiment, but continue to improve. Number 3, if you don't believe in yourself, you'll never get it done. Oof. This one is the most important lesson that I've learned. The most important lesson. Believing in yourself is hard, and it's not enough for people to tell you that you're good, or that you're smart, or that you're pretty, or whatever. It's not enough. You have to believe that. And you have to believe it for real. Not like, I made a couple of Instagram posts and now I believe I'm the shit. No. You have to believe wholeheartedly that in yourself that you can do something, or that you are these things. You have to identify with them deeply, or you won't get what you want out of life, out of jiu-jitsu, out of competitions, whatever. And I know this so well. It hurts me to say, I know it so well. If you don't believe in yourself, you'll always find a way to lose. And I've learned this. I can think about 2 or 3 competitions specifically. 2 where I didn't believe in myself, and 1 where I was like, no, I got this. And so many things are different, from the way that I prepared for those competitions to my thought process, the visualizations, all the way down to like how I performed in those competitions. One in particular, I couldn't believe, I was so hyped off the second match that the third one I went in, and I couldn't even believe that I was up there for the finals match. And I ended up losing on I lost by 20 seconds. But it was just that I was so wrapped up into the thought of, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm doing this. Oh man, I might be able to win this thing. Trash. I should have gotten over that hump way before I stepped out on the mats. I should have gotten over that hump while I was training, but I didn't, and it costed me a dub. Fast forward, me learning from those things, I'm thinking about a competition where I had already done my visualizations. I already believed I won the competition before I got in there, and so I prepared like a person who would win the thing. And even mid-match, when those same feelings started to rise of, man, I can't believe I'm starting to win this match, I had the level of self-awareness to snap myself out of that thought process and go, the fuck do you mean you can't believe? You are winning this match because you prepared for it, because you are a winner, because you believe in yourself. And so it's funny to say, but I can really feel myself in the moment, having those thoughts. And it was just quick thoughts, but they were real thoughts. And it comes from me having the history and the self-awareness to be able to say, snap out of it, dog. You falling into the same patterns. Your mind can be your biggest op for real. And all of that self-sabotage, really the root of it is you not believing in yourself. So if you feel that in anything, not just jiu-jitsu, in all things, if you feel like you're not 100% in, if you haven't been 100% in on the things that you said you were going to do, it's probably because you don't believe in yourself. So let's address that. Get to work, whether that's therapy, by way of therapy, journaling, visualizations. That's something you have to address before it becomes a really big problem, before you're 20 seconds off of a dub, or you've beaten yourself and you've done something stupid in a competition or in life to really make sure that you lose. Again, if you don't believe in yourself, you'll always find a way to lose. Listen, I love competing, but that shit is not for the faint of heart. But if you can get out there and do the thing, then do it, because you learn so much about yourself. Not just the good stuff, but also the bad stuff. And if you can do that under pressure and come out unscathed, come out with your mental intact, come out with your pimping intact, then it's just invaluable, you know? Competing has taught me so much about myself and about life. And these are just 3 things that I thought I'd share with you guys. 3 valuable lessons that I got. Hopefully they're valuable to you. Again, these are just my top 3. There are tons of lessons that you can pick out of any situation, especially when you're getting out there and competing. So if you're watching this as an athlete who competes or has competed and you got some lessons, drop them down below in the comments. If you want me to do another part in this series, also let me know, because again, I have tons of lessons from competing and just jiu-jitsu in general, and I would love to share with you guys. If you're watching this just to see my face, that's fine too. I appreciate you. Again, like, share, subscribe, and until next time, make sure you keep showing up, keep choosing violence. I'll catch you in the next video.